Good evening. We went to Williamston's race with Jessica Gaines put on with the what was it again?
Backyard
the
indoor karting
backyard
nationals.
indoor
Karting nationals.
karting nationals. We had a great time. Uh, First time he ever put on a race. I think it went really well. Uh, Hopefully he's going to maybe get some more races in the future. We want to thank him. Another person we want to thank, which is Squirrel. Squirrel is the Energizer Bunny rabbit fella that runs around the track with the flags. He puts his heart and soul in it. Um, Helps with the tracks and stuff a lot of times when they're getting the tracks ready. Uh, a real good old fellow. We just want to thank him for what he does. And all the tracks we've gone to and the ones we hadn't. Uh, we want to thank y'all for what y'all do. We want to be able to do what we do if y'all want out there. And that's kind of part of the subject of this is uh, I don't really think they get thanked enough. A lot of people get behind the keyboard Rambos, and complain and complain and complain and complain. We're all gonna have complaints about what a track does or what somebody else does or whatever, but you know, put yourself in their shoes. If you think they're making a buttload of money, then at least take the time before you start judging them. Take and write down how much you think they're taking in on the gate fees, the entry fees, the parking fees, everything you think that they're getting paid for, and start subtracting their time during the week. It's like Kevin and Donnell and them at Tri County. Just on a Saturday night race, they've been out there on Monday morning for just a regular Saturday night race, not a points race. A lot of these people there, they put their heart and soul into it. I'm using Kevin and them for an example because that's where we go all the time. Go out there and look at where we park at. They take the time and the money to go spray Roundup so you can see your individual parking spaces. I mean, you go in the bathroom, they got a window unit with air conditioning, just like at Paradise, one of the nicest facilities we've ever been to. During the winter time, be 30 degrees outside, and they got the heat on in the bathroom. During the summertime, they got air conditioning on. You got to go look at all them little perks that all of us take advantage of. We just, you know, we don't even think about them. And, you got a lot of people that go through and complain and complain and complain. Well, go back to what we've said many times before. Why do you go racing? Because you enjoy it. Take the time to go through at the end of the night. You can take a couple minutes to walk by them and say, hey, we appreciate what y'all did. We appreciate y'all putting on this race, no matter what track you go to. Now, I'm not saying that, some of the tracks might be doing some shady stuff. I don't know. But, the ones we go to, they've really put their heart and soul into it. Like I said, speaking on Tri County, Kevin and Donnell's done an excellent job. It just seems like they're putting their heart and soul into where it needs to be. Yes, I might have a different idea than they do on some things, but I'm not running the track. It's their ball field, their rules. We got to play by it. I don't know why sometimes there's some choices that some of the tracks make. I don't know why they make them, but I'm not in their shoes. I'm not running the track. I'm just there with my daughter, and we're there as racers. And regardless of what it is, we thank all of them for it. You got Mr. Henry. There's always, every time you turn around, some kind of lip talked about with him. Now, I'm not trying to put him on a pedestal, but there's nobody out there can honestly deny that he is not putting his heart and soul into this. He is not making millions of dollars off of these tires. If you go look at what it costs to invest in tire molds and the phone calls, the time, trying to make the tire better, just all the research and development, y'all just don't know the money behind it and the time it takes to do all that. For been the cheapest tire on the market since day one. We've been, this is our 4th year, and this is the first year he's went up. I mean, first year, they were, 135?
I think so.
I think it was 135 and then 145 or something like that. But then he just has gone up. Again, not saying that all of us might have ideas that might seem that they could do a little better on. I'm not saying that. But again, are you putting your money into what they're doing? No. It's just a shame that there's so many people out there that are not thankful and not seeing the time and the money they put into it and looking at, well, what would I do if I was in their shoes? I've been on both sides of the fence of their side and this side, not with Carton. But I would not want to do it. Even if I had the time and the money to go buy a track, I would not want to do it. It's just so much freaking headache, so much logistics just to have a race on Saturday night. You need to stop and think about that. And, as the year's ending and we go into 2026, we also need to think, you're not going to change everybody. You're not going to get certain people thinking, but we got a lot of keyboard Rambos out there that sit behind the keyboard and complain and complain and complain and complain and complain. They keep the pot stirred up. I saw a comment on there that they're getting tired of tracks telling them what tires to run. Well, if you're tired of a track telling you you got to run a certain tire, then go to a track that's an open tire. Go do wherever suits the kind of racing you want to be in. Quit getting up there and getting other people stirred, because not putting nobody down, but there is certain people that start stuff. Then you got certain people that will just fall right in line and not think and just start agreeing with them. And, it makes it end up being bigger than what it actually is. Let's all start off next year. Let's having a good time. That's why you started doing it to begin with. Try to think before, when you got a complaint, go think about your complaint. And if it's something dealing with the track, get your group of people that agree with the same thing. Go to that track. Quit being I got a bad habit of saying CB Rambos because I used to truck. The keyboard Rambos. A lot of them will get up there and complain and run their mouth. But then the people that they actually need to be talking to, they'll go up to them and kiss their butts. Quit being two-faced. Quit being behind the keyboard. Let's get out there and have a good time. You got a sport that is expensive, but it's very fun. You got a lot of people that enjoy it, and you got a lot of people that want to get into it. How are we setting an example for them? You're going to turn a lot of people away. All you're doing is thinking about what you want right now. So to me, that sounds like you're a kindergarten youngin' crying, I didn't get the ice cream I wanted. or something like that. No, not trying to put nobody down, but let's face the facts. Go think about your complaint and see if it sounds like a spoiled youngin ain't getting their way. Let's start going along and being thankful for what we got. And if you want something to change, gather your people, go to the track people, talk to them and see if you can get it changed. And if they say they're not going to change it, then don't race there no more. Go to another track. Quit making something bigger than what it actually is. Everybody's blowed all this reaper thing out of proportion, like Mr. Henry. He's gone through and taken all over these tracks. He's bad for the sport. He's bad for that. We have not figured out tires all the way. We're on the process. It take a lot of times we end up figuring stuff out at the last of the race, but we know our faults. We know what we need to work on. Why don't you go look at where your faults are and see what you need to work on? If you can't figure the reaper tire out, then fine, don't run it. But don't go put it down just because you can't figure it out. There's nothing wrong with the tire. Now, I'm not saying that there ain't changes don't need to be made, but everything that's ever been manufactured has got to go through phases. Try to go look at what you can go change. It's like, again, the tire wiring stuff. We were wiring inside right fronts, wiring the left rears out. We found out it was stuff we were doing wrong. And the faster we were going, getting faster and faster, we're not wearing tires out as much. So we've changed what we were doing. Quit being so prideful that there's nothing wrong with you. Quit trying to blame something when the blame is looking you right in the mirror. And if there is a legitimate problem, then go call the people. If you got a problem with a reaper tire, call Mr. Henry. Call him with respect. Say, look, buddy, I got this problem. Have y'all seen this? Let's get out of the gossip crowd. I mean, it's like you're in high school and starting a rumor, and we're not in high school. We're adults. And that's the bad part about it, is that you ain't got youngins up there doing this. The adults are one up there stirring the pot, So let's start acting in our age and quit acting like a bunch of youngins. And you got a problem, solve it. But again, try to go thank the tracks when you get through it tonight. It don't matter even if you had a bad time, they still open the track up to you. They still put in the hard work. Go thank them. If you got spun off, is that their fault? No, it's racing. Go thank them and, try to show them a little appreciation. You might, when you start showing somebody appreciation, just like with you, somebody comes and tells you thank you for what you did, you are more, applicable, whatever the word you want to use here, to go through and do even more. Because you see that appreciation. Somebody's thankful for what you did. That's what I've tried to teach Jolie, and as that youngin impresses me, she goes out there, gets knocked off. She don't come back with a bad attitude. That's what we need to teach ourselves. We got to, one thing, because it's right, but number two is we got to show a different attitude on things for these newcomers coming in. Try to attract newcomers. If not, it's just going to go away. That's literally what's going to happen. It may not happen today. It may not happen tomorrow. But, the tracks is not what's going to destroy this sport that all of us love. It's the people out there in the pits. The ones that won't go through and confront when they have a problem. Or they do confront and they come in with an attitude and expect things to change. So just try to thank them. And if you got a problem, try to handle it the right way instead of the first thing you want to jump to is get on Facebook. Facebook's a wonderful thing, just like money. But, it can be used as evil too. But again, we thank you and hope y'all had a great year, and hope all of us have a better year next year. Just have fun and be safe, and y'all have a good evening.